Hi, this segment is about creating a fulfilling life. Now, that's a huge order for many people because there's the big question of how do I get there? Because I've got all this stuff in the way. I've got to create a living. I've got my time's taken up. I'm busy, and I don't really know how I could turn what I want to do into something that could support me, that would provide the income that I need. And so, as we explore this idea, know that when we discover what the 24 life ingredients are and how to use them, then we've got the answers that we need. And in this short video, I'm going to give you the first few steps that you can try out to see how this works. And then you can follow up with the other videos and learn more and more about that. And gradually you'll gain the power that you'll understand, not gain the power, you'll understand how to use the power that you already have to create what you want in your life. So one of the basics to understand is that everything that we think becomes our physical reality. So our spiritual reality becomes our physical reality. Now, we don't have to go into great depth on that, but I'll give you an overview just to see, because if you feel that might be, well, I don't know how that really works, I don't understand, that sounds kind of fluffy, and consider that when we go to bed at night and we think that it's going to, not looking forward to the next day, we're thinking we're not looking forward to work, then what kind of shape do we wake up in? Are we inspired? Do we jump out of bed? But when we're looking forward, let's say the first day of a holiday, and we're thinking about going away somewhere, like we wake up before the alarm, we wake up excited, and everything's good. So that shows us that our thoughts create our reality. Now, we do that all day long with everything, and what makes it unfamiliar for us is we do it on autopilot. Now, all of this stuff is covered in much greater depth in a lot of the videos. There's a mini series of 10 classes, for example, that covers a lot of the 24 life ingredients. But in this overview, the whole purpose of this is that you're going to get a few concrete steps to be able to use to start creating a fulfilling life. Now, when we start with, we look at the world around us, and people are very unhappy. Look in their eyes. There's a lot of sadness. Look at the shape that people are in. They're out of shape. And it becomes because they're using other things as crutches to find satisfaction. People find a lot of comfort in food. They eat, and they eat way more than one person needs. And we see that. Now, when we want to discover what is our fulfillment, then we don't have that necessity anymore to escape from our reality, because we're starting to really love and enjoy our reality. That's the whole point of living a fulfilling life, is that we actually enjoy, like we look forward to getting up. We're not exactly inspired about going to sleep because we have so many things we want to do. And so how do we get to that space? So when everything starts with thought, but then it also requires action, because a thought by itself, consider that a thought is like a jigsaw puzzle piece, and it's got some potential. Like our life at the moment, as that one jigsaw puzzle piece, has some potential. We've got some different things that we could connect to. But when we have a thought and we think, well, what if I were to follow my passion? What if I started doing something in the direction of that? I don't have to go full blown out. I don't have to quit my job. I can just start doing something little on the side, but that moves in the direction of it becoming a reality. And then, so what we're doing by taking that one action, so let's use the example of a photographer or a dancer or something like that, and just apply your passion, whatever that is. And you say, okay, so now I'm going to take a couple of photographs, or I'm going to practice a few dance steps. And now, so what you've done is we've taken an action, and so we've added a new jigsaw puzzle piece to the picture of our life. And by doing that, we've added not just 3 or 4 edges, we've added like 20, 30 different edges, when you count all those little edges on a puzzle piece, of new opportunities that can connect to that instead of just a couple of opportunities that were there before. So when we keep that reference in mind of because when we run up against fear, for example, which will be guaranteed to be there, then what will happen is we're going to say, okay, well, I've got this idea of doing something about following something that's in my heart. And if I don't take the action, then I'm going to be restricted to where I am today with nothing new happening, because if it was going to happen, it would already happen, because this is my existing life. And without taking new actions, I can't add new opportunities. So without adding that extra puzzle piece with all those extra edges where new things can attach to, then that's not happening for me. So by taking one little step, we're adding another piece, because we don't know what the universe is going to deliver to us attached to those pieces. There's going to be something relative to what's in our heart. So if we're inspired about creating a fulfilling life and we take a step in the direction of what we want, now the universe goes, okay, perfect, and brings other things into alignment. Like I said, all of this is covered in many of the other videos. And also, one of the other things you might want to consider is that we've started a group where for now it's on Saturdays and Sundays, where we have live Zoom meetings where groups of people who understand or want to understand how the power of our mind works on a very practical level, not the theoretical, but exactly like this. Here's a step you can take, try this out, see how this works for you, and then come back to the group and say, well, I tried this and that, I've run into these challenges, and then I can guide you further week by week into other steps you can take and into which videos to watch to get the most benefit, so that the end result is that in very short time, you're actually taking bigger steps towards the things that really inspire you. And what you'll discover is once you've taken that first step towards what inspires you, then you'll see that the walls break down really quickly and life opens up for you, because you'll start to realize that you're actually in conscious control of your life. See, just to round this out, what happens is over the years, we've created a series of habits, and because we do this all the time, then we create what's called an autopilot. And so we have all these habits, and usually not habits that are really good for us, but they are what we are and they are who we are. And so they're on autopilot, and we just go through the same routine over and over and over without thinking about it. But that's the subconscious. Now, when people talk about consciousness and they go through all these hoops and everything else, and they do these meditations of all different kinds, and where do they actually get to? Another exercise that they give up on after a few months or years because it doesn't go anywhere, and it can't, because it's not how life works. When we understand the 24 life ingredients, and there's a video on meditation, what the reality of how to go about it so it's actually practical in day-to-day life. So when we understand that our thoughts lead to our reality, and then we know what we're thinking and how to take actions related to that. So like I said, with if you're a photographer, take those. Don't worry about the whole big picture, because that's the journey. You'll take step by step by step, and you'll create that to the result of that you're after. And when you reach that result, then you're going to start a new journey. And we're starting many overlapping journeys all the time. But if we can't enjoy those, if we can't be happy about what we're doing on that journey, then why are we doing it? And so as we explore what's important to us, then just remember the puzzle piece and take that one step, because that step is going to bring you a lot of new connections, a lot of new things that are going to open up for you. But without that step, you're just isolated in where you are. And who wants that? Who wants to be isolated? It doesn't help you at all. Look up the many different answers to have questions on Quora. Go to my website, john@johnverway.com, or to mylifesoup.com, where we have lots of information there. Go to my YouTube channel, John Verway 2020, and you'll get links to everything. You'll be able to connect. And I'm available to talk to people. Like, you can send me an email, send me a text, send me a note, and I'll respond as quickly as I can. Because these things, these ingredients are available for everybody. We're born with them, but we've forgotten through the demands of business, religion, the governments, education. They all need people to be a certain way. And that has nothing to do with you being able to get your fulfilling life. They need you to do things so you fit into what they need so they can make money. Make no mistake about it. Every one of those organizations need people to feel weak and unempowered so that they have the paid slaves that they need to accomplish what they need. There's a video on that. And you don't have to believe a word that I say. All you have to do is listen and then consider, does this ring true in your spirit? does your spirit will, if this is a lot of nonsense, your spirit will guide you that way. But if you're listening with your spirit and you feel that ring of truth to this, you'll understand that piece by piece by piece, yeah, this is how life works. You'll discover it for yourself. And in that, you gain phenomenal power, because as you realize that everything you're thinking is causing the outcomes you have, and you're less than happy with the outcomes you have, then you'll just start to discover tools like what we talk about. How do you actually know what's in your subconscious? Because it's in the dark pretty much. So there's a video on that. How do you catch the subconscious glimpses, and how do you get the subconscious flashes, and how do you get good at that, and what do you do with them as you capture them? Because you get to know yourself very deeply by doing this very simple exercise. It just becomes habit all day long, that you understand. Once you understand how it works, how to use it, and it helps you to move forward, and everything moves you towards being able to live the fulfilling life that you're desiring. So I look forward to meeting you. I look forward to hearing your questions. I look forward to being able to help you further with understanding the life ingredients. And until then, I'm John Verway, and I wish you all the best.